Hello and welcome again to the Rider Review. This is Eric Rider, and this week we're going to be taking a look back at the 2005 action horror movie titled Komodo vs. Cobra. Now, as you can see, I have morphed into a giant lizard because why not? If you guys want to make me sit through a giant lizard movie, well, you got it. You want a giant lizard? I will be a giant lizard. I am a giant lizard. Okay. With all that said and done, the movie runs for an hour and 34 minutes long. It is directed by Jim Wynorski. The script was written by Jim Wynorski. It is produced by Paul Hertzberg. And it was executive produced by Michael Pare and Daniel Gilbert. It is composed by Chuck Serino. The cinematography by Andrea Rosado. And it was edited by Randy Carter. And the movie stars Michael Pare, Michelle Borth, Ryan McTavish, Renee Talbert, Jerri Manthey, Ted Monte, Glori-Anne Gilbert, Renee Rivera, J. Richardson, Rod McCary, Roark Critchlow, Paul Logan, Damian T. Raven, Chris Neville, Del Wills, Mark Mahon, Paul Green, Jordon Krain, and Dan Golden. So, Michael Pare stars as Seaboat Captain Michael Stoddard, who leads a group of environmental activists led by Sandra Crescent, played by Jerri Manthey, along with her cohorts, Jerry Ryan, played by Ryan McTavish, Carrie Evans, played by Renee Talbert, Ted Marks, played by Ted Monte, and Darla Marks, played by Glori-Anne Gilbert. And they go on a mysterious island to explore a deep, dark secret about this island. So as their search progresses, they find a research compound where Dr. Susan Richardson, played by Michelle Borth, who is a lone survivor on this island, whose father was also leading the research team. Just then, the military calls into action, and the weary environmentalists are facing danger on every corner of the island as a giant mutated Komodo dragon. Yes, my Uncle Modi is in this. And a king-sized giant cobra. And they're on this island. And they're making everyone's lives a living hell. They're either squashing them or making them into a nice light snack. Which is something I'm kind of hungry for. I like to have an arm and a leg to chew on. Oh, what the hell? I want to eat the rest of you. Yes, I want these guys all for a nice light snack. I want my satisfaction. Or you realize that these claws are after you. Okay, yes. Yes, someone declawed my thumb. Anyways. You want a good costume like this? Go to HalloweenCostumes.ca. You'll find some really cool stuff. Anyways, back to my broadcast. So the surviving group members must scramble to safety to escape this island from these reptilian creatures and military interventions. And if the military is trying to come by and I make my life a living hell, Well, I got news for you. I'm hungry for some military stuff. I want a nice big fat general down my gullet. I love me some fresh meat. Because I'm a giant reptilian, man eating predator. Alright, enough of that. So, while this is far from anything from being Oscar caliber, what do you expect? It's a fucking monster movie with giant mutated computerized CGI lizards. But except I'm not a CGI algorithm. I am the real fucking show. None of this CGI shit is coming from this broadcast. I mean, this movie is as stupid as it may come. And believe me, this movie is just soaking in its stupidity. And the best part about it is, it shows little to no apologies. I still found Komodo versus Cobra very interesting and entertaining. I mean, when you watch this movie, you're not expecting fucking Shakespeare or Hemingway. This, it's a monster movie. I believe Asylum Productions made this movie. For a monster movie, it had the potential to stand out. One of those traits being that due to its limited cast, it gives these giant creatures plenty of time to have an altercation with each other. Good, I love to see an epic battle between two CGI computer enhanced algorithms battling each other. I would love to see a epic battle over who's the more superior reptile. Yeah. And like I say, the smaller the cast, the better. I will say that. At least they got a chance to fight against each other and didn't really depend too heavily on human interaction. Now, sure, there was human interaction. I mean, the actors have to do at least a little bit of something, right? Well, they did. And sure, there are plenty of kills featured here, but its shock value definitely remains intact. The timing of this movie is short. Well, okay, I mean, that's expected. I mean, it's an hour and 34. I don't think I want a bloated 2 hour long monster mash. No. I mean, for a movie with giant mutated CGI lizards, sometimes I even think an hour and 34 might be a little too long. They downsized it maybe to an hour and 24. That probably would make maybe a lot more sense. The time, and so, the climax is quite atmospheric, and the tension as the quest for survival becomes all the more mandatory and it's anticipated with excitement. Hey, you got me fucking invested. Hey, I love me some giant mutated monster shit. And we got plenty of that. I mean, I'm not saying it was perfect. Of course, under the sea of great praise, there are also a myriad of red herrings referred to in this giant monster movie mesh. So, it pretty much seems like after the success of Jurassic Park, it's now been progressively downgraded to bullshit like this. And, as much as I praise this movie for its entertaining value, the CGI is actually quite pitiful. And I thought that things should have gotten better from where Jurassic Park left off. I mean, Jurassic Park was released in 1993. I thought maybe the CGI could have improved from a 2005 standpoint. But it actually feels more archaic for a movie that was released in 2005. And even that's going back 20 years ago. The execution of the creatures is almost unintentionally funny. In fact, it's downright fucking pathetic. I mean, why haven't the fuck the technological features gotten better over the years? I mean, even when two giant reptiles clash, which is something I anticipated, it still kind of felt, anticlimactic. And the action, well, that's quite uneventful. In fact, it kind of left me with a bit of an unsatisfying aftertaste. The script felt like it was written specifically to insult the viewer's intelligence. So environmental activists invade an obscure island to revolt against scientific researchers whose experiment went wrong, only to find out that their lives are in danger. Oh, but we still need to protect the wildlife. We still need to protect them because they're all just a bunch of dumb creatures. They're all just a bunch of dumb animals who are cognitively deprived. Because why? Because they're fucking animals. That's why. So is that all there is to this plot? Oh, talk about a story that has been done so many times before and much, much better. Unoriginal score, but there was a lot of potential to make this movie really interesting. It was all just a muddled mess of terrible cliches and wooden performances. But at least I'll say one thing. They made no apologies about it. Yes. And in the end, Komodo versus Cobra had all the makings for a fun and compelling monster movie in all its cheesy goodness. I mean, this is all the stuff of dreams Ed Wood would have concocted. And the reptiles were badly downgraded by 2005 standards. At least the dinosaurs, my great relatives from millions of years ago, at least they actually were believable. Hats off to my Uncle Rufus and my Aunt Bettina for coming back to life after millions of years. We weren't extinct, by the way. As dinosaurs, we were not extinct. We were dormant. And don't you fucking forget it. But at least they were believable. Here, these creatures, they're not related to me because I'm an iguana. I'm not a Komodo dragon, and I'm not a cobra. I'm an iguana. Alright? Going somewhere? No, I'm just joking. Anyhow, yeah. That's what I think. It was all just a muddled mess and a web of confusion. These guys, yeah. It was all one big mess. and nothing more and nothing less. They could have had potential for something really compelling, but they blew it. In that sense. So, in the end, Komodo versus Cobra had all the makings for a fun and compelling movie in all of its cheesy goodness. You can sit there and have a nice bag of popcorn and some soda. Me, I would rather prefer a few hands and feet for me to munch on. Then again, I'm a lizard. That's what I dine on. I don't eat insects. I'm a carnivore. And the reptiles, they were badly downgraded by 2005 standards. They look like badly done caricatures from the 1990s Super Nintendo games. It's not that funny. All I found annoying was the vulgar language was replaced with squeaks, which can be very annoying and insulting. It's not like kids are watching this movie, or if they are, shame on the parents. But yeah, they could also be kind of annoying. But it's not the worst movie out there, but it wasn't really anything that great either. But because I stuck through it the whole time and it was entertaining, sure, there was a lot of flaws, there was a lot of faux pas, but I still enjoyed it nonetheless. For something to watch when you're bored on a Saturday night or something like that. And, when all is said and done, if I was to give this movie a scale, a scale, get it? Scale, because I'm a lizard. Out of 10, I would give Komodo versus Cobra a 7 out of 10. So I would still recommend it for entertaining purposes, but just don't get your expectations and your standards too high. That's all I'm saying. So this ends my rider review. Thank you all for listening in. If you wish to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please feel free to do so. If you wish to leave a comment, go right ahead. But just remember the 3 simple rules. Be kind, be courteous, and please refrain from any rude comments. And I'll be back again with another movie review. So until next time, this is Eric Garat Rider saying, keep watching those movies, and I'll see you around. Or if not, I will come to eat you.